Hello, it's me, Saturn, here, recording a video a couple days late. That's okay. That's okay. A big message right now is acceptance and forgiveness, forgiving yourself. That's been like a whole theme for this year. And that's not what we're going to talk about today. Maybe a little bit, probably more than I think. But we have a Pisces eclipse. And I want to talk about feelings and how to take care of ourselves, how to feel our feelings, what needs to change, what behaviors need to change. I can already tell you that there are habits coming into play. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice, encouraging message that we have here. Oh my God. It's the Nine of Pentacles. My light is maybe a little too bright, but there she is. There she is, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so tapping into the feeling of abundance. I'm sorry, I feel like there's like something on my face. Tapping into the feeling of abundance. Recognizing that suffering is a choice. And you don't have to suffer. I mean, you do because you're human. And we all do, and we all will. But it's that second arrow. So when you're feeling pain and then you ruminate on it and you are chewing over all of these little details of why you are the victim and how sorry you are for yourself. Who is that helping? What is that doing for you? Because it is probably doing something for you, giving you some sort of satisfaction. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it so much, right? And the other thing is that, like, it's not to say that I'm trying to victim blame or spiritual bypass, right? It's the acceptance part of it, right? We suffer when we're not in acceptance of what's happening. And the thing about acceptance is it's not rolling over and letting something happen to you. It is recognizing what it is for what it is. Recognizing what is happening and how you're responding to it. It's acknowledging it. And it's not like being complicit or complacent. It is being in acceptance, okay? The way that you can help yourself is to meditate. And I'm also seeing a lot of feelings come to the surface. We have the Two of Swords in reverse here. And it's like, it's a decision, right, that you need to make, but you are not wanting to make a decision. You are wanting to stay in your thought cycles and not break free from that pattern. And I was going to say something else, but I've completely forgotten. I am not exempt from this. I do this. I talk from experience. Like, I still do it, right? And that was the other thing, is that, like, it is a constant learning. It is something that we have to learn how to do over and over again to be in acceptance. Okay? And it's a struggle, but it's just practice, right? Like, it's just practice. The other thing being that, like, we don't have to take everything so seriously. We're here to learn. And that's pretty cool. And sometimes people are just fighting just to fight. Sometimes the struggle, the conflict exists because the people in the conflict are conflicted, right? At what point does the struggle become counterproductive, right? There is a point where it's like, okay, this is what's happening, and then we can take that a step further and be like, oh no, why is it happening? Or instead we could just look at, like, okay, I'm thinking of at my Muay Thai gym, right? The head coach will take his fighters, they will film, all the coaches do this, they film the fight, and then after the fight, whether they win or lose, they review the fight and they look at, like, okay, what was working and what wasn't working. They're not saying, like, okay, why do you do this? It's just, I mean, there's a little bit of, like, why do you do this? But it's like, here's what you're doing, and here's how we can pivot in order to make it better, or here's how we can keep doing that to, like, improve upon it, right? Okay. We have temperance in reverse. Yeah, okay. This is what I wanted to talk about, too, this is going to be such a chaotic reading. This is going to be such a chaotic reading. This is what I want to talk about, too, is the imbalance and the coping mechanisms that you are engaging in, that we are all engaging in, that are unhelpful, that are dismissing our own feelings. Maybe you are doing something that is repetitive, that is mindless, where you don't have to think about it because you're tired of your own suffering, right? You're tired of your own inner conflict, and so you're trying to drown it out with alcohol, with games, with shows, with whatever it is that you can use to distract yourself. And even if you're, like, doing art, like, you're not really, like, in it, you're just kind of, like, getting engaged in the process of the art, but you're not really doing it as a therapeutic outlet. It's just, like, getting into it to do it, if that makes sense. And I would suggest doing some art and doing it in the process, getting in the process of it, and not looking at, like, the end result, but, like, just doing it to express yourself, because you're needing a little bit more outlets just to express yourself. And I'm also seeing, like, maybe there was a sense of scarcity that has temporarily been alleviated, and that's feeling good. And, like, you've kind of been given, like, a bolster that's helpful. And it's helping you kind of look at these things a little bit clearer. I came in pretty strong with this, and some cards just fell to the floor because I'm dropping cards. I came in pretty strong, so forgive me, but this is how I need to be talked to. And so this is how I deliver messages. That's how it is. Saturn. What we got? Oh, we got the Sun. Oh, we got Queen of Pentacles. Okay, Boss Babe, the Sun, the Hanged Man, and the Page of Swords in reverse. There is, okay, again, I'm, like, looking at, like, okay, what's the issue? What is the conflict? But we have a lot of positive stuff going on here, okay? The Page of Swords in reverse is like, you think you know what to do, but you are still in a learning phase right now. And I think that you are realizing this with the Sun and the Hanged Man is like, oh yeah, okay, everything is new. It's a brand new day, and I get to surrender to however this lesson comes about, because although I have learned it before, maybe I feel like I don't actually know the steps and I need to relearn it. So we're relearning. You're feeling very grounded in your body, which is good. This is also like, when I started pulling, it was like, here's the advice of how to take care of ourselves during this like emotional upheaval. So it's like, get grounded in your body. With the Queen of Pentacles, practice gratitude, look at what you have, take a bath. Not usually a recommendation I would give with the Queen of Pentacles, but it's coming out, so that's the recommendation. Take a bath, take a shower, really do like some scrubbing, some exfoliation if you have a salt scrub, or like an African net sponge or something that you can really like get in touch with your physical body and get that like lymph moving, get it all moving, getting in touch with your body in any way you can. Also with like the Five of Wands and the Page of Swords in reverse, like some physical activity could be really helpful right now. I am also seeing like taking a nap with the Hanged Man and the Sun combo. It's kind of giving take a nap. But it's also like, you're in this period of self-discovery, and I think that might be a little bit difficult for you right now because everything is changing. Maybe you've really heavily identified as someone who is both like victimized but also like empowered, and you're kind of like coming to terms with that duality right now. There is a lot of duality here coming into play, and I'm like my throat is acting up, so clearly there's something here. Some of you don't really want to hear this message, and some of you might not even be ready to hear this message, but it's the message that's coming through, so you're gonna get it. I really need to start bringing water for these. Anyway, the Sun is about identity expansion. We just went through Leo season. It was busy and like expansive and like really great. I'm also like feeling the grief coming through with Dolly passing and Tim Curry passing, coming through for a lot of people. And I think that like one of the best ways that we can surrender to our grief is to also surrender to our joy. And that is like a huge, I feel like that's a huge message here with the Sun and the Hanged Man. Like, we are expanding our capability to feel our feelings, and being in that is really beautiful. I'm like hearing like, let your freak flag fly. This is a great time to explore that and like have fun with it and like do something kind of out of the ordinary that makes you feel like you look in the mirror and you're like, oh yeah, that's me, because I'm feeling like there is a lack of that lately. There is a lack of recognition of yourself lately, and that could be because of all of this kind of like drowning in the internal turmoil and like the minor conflicts that you're dealing with. And this is going to be kind of a theme for the next 6 months, is coming up against conflict and then how you deal with it. How do you deal with your values being not compromised, but what's the word I'm looking for? I forget. When your values are blank. Oh my god. It's at the tip of my tongue. Like, confronted? Not exactly the word I'm looking for. It works, okay? It works. Roll with me. Work with me here, okay? So our values are going to be confronted a lot in the next season, this eclipse season. And we're going to have to look at what is it that we actually stand for, who is it that we actually want to be. The surrender piece being like letting other people be themselves and be other people, and having firm boundaries around yourself and not letting other people's actions affect your personal identity. Not getting so caught up in other people's opinions that you don't know who you are anymore. Not letting yourself be gaslit. Standing in your truth, right? Standing in your power. And working on how it is that you internalize other people's opinions of you and other people's opinions of other things too. Letting go of people pleasing. You're not really taking any shit anymore, right? This is a season of learning how to not take shit and to be in acceptance, right? Because part of being in acceptance is letting other people do what they're gonna do and not letting it affect you as much, right? Or seeing how it affects you and being aware of how you are reacting or responding to that. Okay? It makes sense. I'm gonna trust that you heard this message. There's like a lot of positivity here. There is the potential for abundance in this situation. The advice is to practice your values, practice your boundaries, write it out, take a look at what your boundaries are, take a look at what your values are. Look into what does boundary actually mean to you? What, not only like making a list of what your values are or what your boundaries are, but like what does that look like? Put some examples on there, okay? Write it out. And breathe and make some art and let it just be whatever it is, like surrendering to the process of making art. I don't know what is going on. Like, I feel like I just lit a candle and I like blew it out, and now I'm getting like choked out by the smoke, but I did not do that. And there's no smoke happening outside. So, my apologies for how I'm showing up currently. There is abundance. There is abundance to tap into. There is wealth consciousness to tap into. We don't have to be all up in a pity party. The only way to move forward is with like radical hope. Radical hope and radical authenticity are the ways to move forward. Okay, that's the message. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.